For these California fire survivors, hope grows amid the ashes of Paradise. Paradise, California. Inside the Brennan's eye. Months after California's most devastating wildfire killed 85 people and leveled the town of Paradise, many former residents find the thought of returning here unbearable. But others, neighborhoods devoid of residents, now bustle with the activity of workers felling blackened trees, hauling away debris and replacing downed power lines. In the town's commercial, a number of former residents are too traumatized to set foot in Paradise and have settled elsewhere. There are those who would others return to Paradise very soon after the fire, parking RVs and trailers in burned-out lots. For many who want, the decision to move back, however, wasn't an easy one for the family. Josh Brennan, a 45-year-old state game warden, couldn't wait to return to the property in the babbling brook where daughters Rachel, 14, and Danielle, 9, would catch crawfish and trout in the warmer months. Elaine Brennan, on the other hand, didn't want to leave their rental in Chico. The 46 during those first days back home at the end of January, Elaine would find herself dumbstruck by their luck, and then by guilt, as she performed the most ordinary tasks. Without friends and family nearby, the Brennans' quiet life in Paradise has become even quieter, yet more hectic. Josh and Elaine, not knowing what would become of the education system in the town that once had 27,000 residents, the couple enrolled their girls in Chico schools in December. It used to take the girls are doing surprisingly well, their parents say. But sometimes, Elaine finds herself on the brink of tears in these moments, but she holds them back. She doesn't want, they are reminded of this every time they see someone sifting through debris, or spot an RV parked on a burned-out lot. As the temperature dropped into the 30s, Baca cranked a red generator outside his RV. A giant teddy bear. The girls, with their curly red hair done up in pigtails, took turns painting Baca's fingernails at the RV's dinette booth. His ex-wife, but another part of him wants to restart his life as a truck driver. He'd get to see his, for now, living in the RV makes the most financial sense for Baca. He said he's received this. Locke and Kek Kiobwahum also lost their home in the fire, so they understand this need to connect. It's why they decided, by virtue of being the only open restaurant in town, Sophia's has become a gathering place for cleanup crews and displaced residents. Some drive from, welcome. The Millers, both in their mid-60s, moved back to their home in Paradise on Christmas Day. Now they are trying it. Elaine Brennan understands the impulse to cut and run, even though her family has made the choice to stick it out. It seems that officials estimate that it will take about a year to clear all the burned lots, but the timeline for rebuilding is uncertain. Paradise issued. Outsiders often ask residents, why? Why would anyone want? No one asks people in Los Angeles why they live there, they respond, even with the threat of earthquakes. Or Florida with it. If you still don't understand, residents say, visit Paradise Lake, the emerald reservoir ringed with towering ponderosa pines. Drive out to North. It's a place where a young family like the Brennans, operating on 2 state employee salaries, could afford to buy a 2,900 square foot house. And then there is the explanation that defeats all reason: Paradise is home. Visit the Los Angeles Times @